everybody, we're back. You can see my next guest each Friday night in the CBS series Joan of Arcadia. He's also starring with Hilary Duff in the film Raise Your Voice. Please welcome Jason Ritter. Now, you guys know each other, right?
Yeah,
You grew up together. You were born and raised in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was born... See, this is broing out right now. This is what the definitions of broing out is.
It's very gay to me.
Yeah.
It's maybe me, I'm uptight. But you, now, what's it like? See, we were just talking in the commercial break. I grew up here in the East, and, you know, so it's so different when you grow up here. What's it like? How do you think it was different growing up in Los Angeles? How did it affect your childhood?
Well, it was really... it was kind of weird because, I don't know if you ran into this, but... at my high school, there was so many people whose parents were in show business.
Right.
So if you came in after a weekend and you went, oh, man, did you see that movie on Saturday? That sucked. It would be like, my dad wrote it, my dad produced it, my mom directed it, and it was like, oh, the acting was good, and the directing, you know, I don't really know. Oh, I'm talking about the sequel.
Right. And then hope, Yeah,
and so it became this weird thing where you couldn't trash any movie. You had to just, everyone became like body snatchers, just going, every movie's great. You had to find your friends and be like, did you see that movie? It sucked, right? Yeah.
Then they'd whisper to you, I wrote it.
Exactly.
No, but it's funny because it's so different. Like growing up the way I grew up outside Boston, I never saw anybody ever, you know, at all related to show business.
Yeah,
I think it was just a strange experience. Like every now and then you'd know somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew Abe Vigoda, you know, but that was the closest you got.
Yeah.
Now, you were just in the Freddy vs. Jason movie.
Yeah, a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah,
but you know, that is such an intense, you know, horror movie. Are you a fan of horror movies? Do you like horror movies?
We have a love-hate relationship. I'm very jumpy, and I get scared easily by many things.
Just wanted to try it, sorry.
And it's true, and I'm humiliated. But no, I don't know, I would be scared by the time, there was like a Nutcracker fantasy, this like weird claymation thing that was basically a cartoon, and it terrorized me for years. And
it was not supposed to be scary? Or?
No, it wasn't really. It was like, you know, Uncle Drosselmeyer with the patch, but he just was like long and skinny and scared me. But I also had like all these little toys, and I thought my toys all had souls, and
you sad man.
I had a lot of time when I was younger.
But you literally found some of your toys scary?
Yeah.
Like, what was your scariest toy?
I had this kind of rubber bendy Alfred E. Newman What Me Worry doll.
Oh, from the Mad Magazine guy.
Yeah, from Mad Magazine. Yeah. And he would just kind of sit on my shelf like this with his tooth missing. And I would kind of leave him outside on purpose, and then I would get back into my room, and he'd be sitting on my shelf in the exact same spot.
How did he get back there? Just
I thought he was walking, but I guess my mom put him back. But I didn't know that. I never saw it. That was one of the weird things. It was just appear in different places. So I started like, you know, I took scissors one day and I kind of gouged out his eyes.
Why did you do that?
Well, it was like this weird thing where I thought maybe he wouldn't be able to find his way back to the house, you know? But it was weird because I thought
I'm calling the doctor right now.
No, I was like, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
Right. But it kind of, in a weird way, for a kid, it makes sense. Like, you know,
I had no idea.
Without eyes, he can't find his way back.
Yeah, exactly. Fear had no bounds. But of course, and then so I went outside and I buried him, and then of course that night, in a flash of lightning, he was there with his eyes gouged out, all muddy.
So your mom saw him buried in the backyard, dug him up.
I guess he was. So I spent all that night, I got this extra hard pair of scissors, and I spent all night like cutting it apart and like twisting the bendy things. It was like the Gambino family with the song. It was I was sweating and crying, and like the next day I dropped off all the different pieces in different trash cans at my school, and then that got rid of them.
Wow.
And so now I'm free.
I gotta say that. Well, good for you. You finally.
I'm free. I haven't seen him in years. Thank you.
That's crazy.
It's a big victory for me.
That's so weird, Jason. I can't believe you thought that a doll was coming after you.
Oh my God.
Jason, why did you throw me away?
Can we just see the special effects here? Those are the best. Those are the best special effects we have.
Pay no attention to the man with the
I love it. That's That's the level of puppetry work that we do here. That is why I am forbidden to make a Hollywood horror movie. Because they'd give me like $40 million and I'd do that.
It's surprisingly effective, though.
It is good. Now, you had...
Could we make it go away?
Yeah, it's gonna... You're just doll hands. Doll hands can't hurt you. Or can they? Sorry. That's one of the more childish things we've done here in a while, and that's really saying something on this show. I'll tell you that much right now. Now, Raise Your Voice is in theaters now.
Yep.
And Joan of Arcadia airs Friday nights at 8 on CBS.
Yeah.
So watch that show on CBS, but then all other programming should be NBC programming. Don't you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Just Joan of Arcadia and then right back to NBC because that's the best network that there ever was. Jason Ritter, really great to have you here. Good man.